I would probably say I don't think you have time not to be involved, because it's vital. It's vital to our communities that we are involved in this process. I see myself as a proactive person. I don't want to just sit back and let things happen and then try to deal with the aftermath of what somebody else did. I would rather, at least you know my side, at least you know our story, at least you know our community before you make these decisions that are going to affect the vitality of a community of 5,000 people. You just can't let that go by. And we're a small community, as things go. And I see other smaller communities that are struggling. And part of the reason they struggle is because they don't have the support. And that's what the Municipal League is, it's support.
Whenever I first came to the Municipal League and I didn't know anybody, I didn't know who to talk to or how important it was, the one thing I did is I latched on to someone who's been there for a while. And that individual, I'll never forget, told me that you really need to get involved. And getting involved means you got to volunteer for things, you got to do things outside your comfort zone. I remember having a conversation with members of the league, some of the staff that saw me in a different light when I first came here, and then I wasn't that same person that they had thought about because I opened myself to allow people to get to know me a little bit better. And by letting them know me a little bit better, I got to know each and every one of them a little bit better. That helped me to get involved and reach out to those certain legislative individuals that I may or may not have a relationship, but I could still have the same conversations with the same respect that I would have with anybody in my own delegation.
In reference to working with the league and the legislative process and looking at new members or new council members or new staff, you want to engage in the league and get involved in legislation or how the legislation is being crafted, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together and we're in a small state, but things can happen and there's kind of a ripple effect. And if you want to be involved, I think most of us would agree we would rather be in the driver's seat and going in a direction that we want rather than being in the back seat going, hey, when are we stopping? When are we doing this? And when you're in the league, or if you're a league member, if you encounter something that you need assistance with, you can make a call. And essentially, it's just a great group that's able to help one another. And when we're looking at legislation, things can happen that roll down and ripple down and impact our communities. And it's like, we didn't think this was going to end up as that. And how do we now work through that?
So it's funny because, you direct this, this is kind of being directed at new mayors. I like to remove that and say all of us. All of us need the league. And I say this, and I tell people this all the time. And I know that this piece is specifically about the legislators and our relationship and developing, the law of the land here in the great state of West Virginia. But I say without reservation that getting through the pandemic, if I didn't have the resource of the municipal league, and really what you were the conduit that brought us all together. Those mayor calls, I'm not on all of them, but I still jump on them because inevitably, the information flow through those calls, that's what a new mayor needs to do, is get engaged because, even if it's you constantly, especially during the legislative session, that's where the updates come. That's where we learn the ins and outs. That's where we learn how we need to get engaged to help. So I think it's all of us, and certainly, the new ones, the new kids on the block, and I guess I can say that because I've been around for a long time. But certainly, it won't take them long at all to figure out that the leadership of the municipal league is engaged for the right reason to represent us all equal.
Like the last conference that we went on, we came back with encouragement because not everyone has a great day and not everybody has citizens that are just excited about the work that's being done in their city. I heard a comment that said that if there's cones out, that means there's progress being made. And I took that little piece of someone trying to stand up out of the back of the room to say, hey, you know, it's encouraging. And I think the more that we stand up and the more that we work with each other, the bigger we can be. West Virginia isn't always known as being the biggest and brightest part of the states, but if we really collaborated together, think of how bright we could shine.